Today we're going to compare the Coya and the Orfeo, two ultra-compact strollers from Cybex that may be useful for travel or to complement a car-based lifestyle. So let's jump straight into it then, looking at the advantages and disadvantages of each model in turn, and focusing on their differences in terms of child comfort, ease of use, longevity, and driving characteristics, before ending with the discussion of under what conditions and uses one might make a better purchase over the other. And starting off with some stats, the Coya clocks in at 6.6 kilos and folds down to 18 by 44 by 52 centimeters. It can carry 22 kilos in the seat and 5 kilos in the underslung shopping basket. When it comes to child comfort, the Coya seat is adjustable between a newborn acceptable full flat recline and an upright position that's unfortunately a little too sloped in my opinion. While size-wise, the seat has an inside width of 33 centimeters, a length for the sitting surface, meaning the backboard, baseboard, and leg rest, of 80, as well as a total longer length of 115 when counting in space beneath the canopy and the distance to the front frame mounted footrest. As far as other aspects of the seat go, the canopy is extendable and provides decent sun coverage, though there's unfortunately no flap to cover the mesh panel in the extended section. The textiles have a thicker than average premium feel. The harness has Cybex's one-pull tightening mechanism, and the seat liner can be removed, revealing a large mesh window in the seat back to provide added ventilation. Looking at parent comfort, the Coya's handle has a fixed height of 104.5 centimeters, while the shopping basket is a bit fiddly to access due to the narrowness of the rear frame as well as sidewalls. As far as folding is concerned, the Coya's somewhat heavier and sturdier than average components, thick textiles, and the extra step of a locking clip make the process a bit more cumbersome than with most other ultra-compacts these days, though the way the shoulder strap is threaded through the undercarriage, such that pulling it tightens the folded package, is at least mechanically clever in my opinion. As far as the feel of using the Coya goes, despite being built with sturdy components, the locking joints, in particular the central hubs right under the seat, are a bit loosely fitted, causing the chassis to bend somewhat side to side when steering. And the narrow rear frame also makes the model feel a bit tippy sometimes, at least with the seat reclined when carrying a heavier child. With regards to terrain capability, the Coya is fine to drive over smooth pavement or in indoor environments, but the lack of rear frame suspension makes it somewhat jittery and uncomfortable to use when the ground gets even a little rough, such as with broken sidewalks or gravel. Moving on, the Orfeo weighs in at an only slightly lighter 6.3 kilos while folding down to a taller and wider, though also slimmer, 16 by 47.5 by 53 centimeters. It can take the same 22 kilos in the seat and 5 kilos in the underslung shopping basket. When it comes to child comfort, the Orfeo seat also has a deep, near-flat recline that's similarly acceptable for newborns according to Cybex's current info for the model, while the upright position, though still a little sloped, is better than with the Coya in my opinion. When it comes to the dimensions of the Orfeo seat, the model is both equally as wide as the Coya, as well as equally long when it comes to the sitting surface, though it does have a bit less space under the canopy, which can impact headroom for older toddlers. As far as other aspects of the seat go, unlike with the Coya, the Orfeo's canopy is not extendable, and is a bit too short in my opinion. The textiles feel cheaper, though the harness does similarly have Cybex's one-pull tightening, and the model lacks the Coya's extra ventilation built into the seat back. Moving on to parent comfort, the Orfeo's handle is fixed a little lower, at 100 centimeters, while the shopping basket, though a bit wider in the rear, is also difficult to access, being similarly blocked off by sidewalls, as well as impeded from the back by crossbars. As far as folding is concerned, the Orfeo is easier to fold than the Coya, with the main portion of the process involving only one step that's accomplishable with one hand, and producing a folded package that's self-standing and similarly has a shoulder strap. All that being said, however, despite being easier to use, the Orfeo's folding system is not as sturdily built as the Coya's, and is more likely to loosen up and potentially develop problems over time. As far as how the Orfeo feels to use, the chassis is tighter in its connection points right out of the box, and doesn't have that somewhat unstable feeling of the Coya's narrower rear frame, but the Orfeo also lacks rear frame suspension, making it similarly unpleasant over rougher ground. Its weaker build means that the chassis as a whole is likely to get a lot more rickety over time from the effects of wear, and one key mechanism, the brake pedal, is positioned quite awkwardly in my opinion, and is more fiddly to use than on the Coya. So which of these should you get then? In general, I feel that the sturdier build and the more premium feel with regards to the materials of the Coya give it an edge over the Orfeo, in particular because the Orfeo's price of $400 isn't really all that cheap. The Orfeo's somewhat more upright seat and easier fold are significant positives, of course, just not enough at this price point to outweigh these other factors in my opinion. That being said, if you're looking at ultra compacts purely for travel, then I suppose the reduced durability may be more acceptable with the Orfeo, especially if you can find it at a discount. But for all other purposes, between these two at least, my vote goes with the Coya. In any case, we hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, please subscribe, as a sort of support really helps us to continue making videos in the future. If you'd like to know more about either of these models, we have standalone reviews that go into a lot more detail, and links have been added in the description. In addition, if you're currently shopping for a stroller, we have a buyer's guide on our Patreon page which lists a wide range of models that we recommend, with a lot of technical and lifestyle related information. You can find it by following the link in the description as well. Thank you.